Hi everybody, it's me Hatsy, and today I am back with another dream house. So this time we are going to be building a family home, and the idea of this house was that I would only use the base game and I would only use the new stuff pack that we got, which I believe is backyard stuff, but I didn't look that much into it when I got it. I thought that it would be really interesting if I just built a house without looking too much into it. I didn't do a review or anything, so yeah, this is it. Anyway, the house is actually for a couple, and the couple have 2 adopted daughters, which I just think is absolutely adorable. They are the Morrison family, and you would have seen them at the beginning, so I am really happy to be able to put those Sims into this house. I was happy to be able to make the house for them. And the Sims were actually made by Noah98. I absolutely loved them. They reminded me of the couple out of Desperate Housewives a while ago, when they had an adopted daughter who played the violin, and I loved that storyline so much. So yeah, anyway, the description for the family is that Dan and Connor were high school sweethearts, and their relationship has only grown from there. Dan is a painter and he works from home to sell his works, whilst Connor is in the athlete career. They've adopted 2 twin daughters and are saving money towards adopting a 3rd child. Because of this, they have a budget of $90,000. They agree on a 2-story home, and Dan prefers a traditional interior and Connor prefers modern. They are needing a back garden and 3 to 4 bedrooms. So I tried to fit that as much as possible, and I thought with the backyard mention that would be perfect for backyard stuff. So yeah, I hope that you'll be able to use this family, and I hope that this is the right house for them. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to desperately use this picket fencing. I love picket fencing. It's actually my favourite thing from the pack altogether. I adore it. It's all in different colours as well. So if you wanted to create like a really Disney-like house, as in not like a Disney princess house or anything like that, but if you wanted to create a typical Minnie Mouse inspired house or something like that, white picket fencing would be absolutely perfect. So there's loads and loads of different colours, and I thought that it would be really interesting to use it on this build. Now, something that I've never done before is actually lead on the front garden to the back. It's actually not that interesting when I say it out loud, but I was actually really impressed by it because I've never done it before. I was trying new things and I thought that it looked really good in the end. So I hope you like the garden. It's a little bit different. I also focus more on the landscaping than I usually do, and with a budget it can be a little bit difficult, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. There is a massive thunderstorm going on behind me, so if you can hear any background noise on the video, that is why. I think probably about once every 2 weeks where I am at the moment, there's been like a really bad thunderstorm. In fact, it was, I think about maybe a month ago, I was so close to hitting lightning, I swear. It was so close. I was driving along and the lightning bolt or whatever just appeared. I mean, within meters of my car. It was insane. But yeah, so the weather's been absolutely boiling in Germany at the moment, and I think it's unbearable. I really do. It's because I'm not used to hot weather. So from living in England and Switzerland, because when I lived in Switzerland, it was actually quite cold a lot of the time. I mean, summer was hot, but it wasn't as hot as where I am now. So it was manageable. But no, it's been absolutely boiling, which of course is lovely for sitting outside and stuff. But I just think it's so difficult to record videos when it's like this. I've actually spent a majority of my time recently away from the computer because I've been looking at these voiceovers that people have sent to me from my Let's Play Witches. So if you have sent me a voiceover, then yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's taken up a majority of my time just because there have been a lot of applications and I want to give them all a really good amount of time to spend on them, look through each and every email, and so far there's been about 1,500 emails altogether. Pretty insane. But yeah, I'm still looking for voiceovers, and of course if you want to do it, the instructions are on the video that came before this, I think. Anyway, at this point I was clearing out the inside of the build because I wanted to have a really cool window balcony here. Unfortunately, there's a glitch in the game which doesn't allow balconies if you put a roof over it, if that makes sense. So unfortunately, it's not usable, and I'm really annoyed about that because that could look so good. I really hope they fix it and they make it so that fences, actual fence walls closed off, are still registered as rooms, because the only way that you could have a balcony there was actually by putting in a wall. But of course a fence should be used as a wall, I think. Anyway, but yeah, so I was experimenting with so many colours, and I actually got loads of inspiration from beach houses. That was what a lot of my focus was on whilst I was choosing the colours for the build. I've thought of the idea recently about redoing builds in Newcrest and actually doing maybe 5 builds in Newcrest that would all look in a similar style, that would all be base game, and you'd be able to put them in your town. And I actually thought of that because a while ago when Newcrest was released, I didn't do that. I wasn't on YouTube at that point when people were releasing videos of the houses. So it's something that I get asked to do a lot, not the Newcrest part, but I get a lot of requests asking if I can do base game houses. So maybe that would be a good idea. And if you actually want me to do that, if you want me to make a series of like beach homes in Newcrest or very brightly coloured houses, then let me know, because I could do that and it would be so much fun. And I could also name them after people, which was an old thing that I used to do on the channel. I do want to be able to create different houses that a lot of different people will be able to use. So if you only have base game or one stuff pack or a few stuff packs, I want to be able to create loads and loads of different builds for that, so that everyone will be able to use my builds, because it's sad when I go into my own gallery and I've only got like a few base game houses. I want to make more of an effort. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Anyway, the new stuff pack, I think it's pretty good. I love the back garden things we get. I think we only get back garden things, so I don't know why I pointed that bit out. But I think it is pretty interesting. I like the idea of having more things that The Sims can do in the gardens, because I have to say that the garden space is something that I don't feel like The Sims use a lot. Maybe the pool and, okay, sometimes the hot tub, but then again, you can put a hot tub inside, and I'm pretty sure you can put a pool inside anyway. But I think that a garden, it can be quite difficult to get Sims out and about actually using it. So it's really, really nice. The fact that it does look like a hot summer's day pretty much all the time in the area that we're building in. Like Willow Creek is always like a nice hot summer's day. Maybe if it was like winter time and they were doing that, I would beg to differ on that one. But I think that it's really, really cool. So I'm definitely happy about the new stuff pack. I actually thought that it may be a hint for the future of an expansion pack, which would be seasons based, and I'm really, really hoping for this. Of course, I don't know this information, this is just what I'm personally thinking, but I just felt like with the stuff pack having so many summer based items, like I would always imagine lemonade to be a very summery thing to have. And I think that in America it's quite popular to have lemonade stands in summer. Of course, I don't know, because I've never seen one. I've always wanted to see a lemonade stand and I've never ever seen one, and I just think it's really interesting. But I think that with that, also the other features like having the pool slider, which isn't an exact pool, but it's something that The Sims can use, and it looks really, really fun when they just slide down. It's a little bit like, I guess, the bouncy castle material. I have no idea what it's called though. And I think that things like that are very summery, and it would definitely be a hint to me in the future that that's maybe what's coming up. Of course, I do value other expansion packs over seasons. I have to say that's just my opinion though. Of course, I'd love to know what you want to have out next. What sort of expansion pack you want to have out next. And don't just say toddlers, because that is not an expansion pack, or at least I would love that to be an expansion pack. But I think that toddlers will be in the form of a free update, and I feel like if they ever do them, that will be the case. Of course, I don't know, because I'm not in contact with the Sims team or anything like that. I just have all these opinions myself. So I think that in the future, I would love to see a Generations expansion pack. That is something that I would really, really love. I think I mentioned it on a stream a while ago, but I loved it. I felt like for The Sims 3 that as soon as I actually had it in my game, it changed the whole game for me. It just gave so much more depth to the game. So I'm really hoping that we get that with The Sims 4, because it really made it more enjoyable. And I feel like for a family aspect, it would be perfect. So maybe they're building up for that as well, especially with the group activity, the slider, the pool slider that's just come out. Maybe that is also a hint. So I have no idea. But anyway, I was onto the back garden. I thought that having the pool slider, as we were just talking about it, would be a good idea. Now, it's actually very, very big, so be careful if you're making your garden small, and if you want one of those, you're gonna have a pretty big garden to pull that off, because it took up pretty much all the space in the garden, which I was not expecting. I think that it would look brilliant in parks, or maybe the back garden of a massive, massive mansion. Of course, if you do want me to do that, then let me know, because I could do a next dream house, which would be a real mansion. And of course, I do have to finish the mansion on the stream. I'll probably be streaming either this week or next week, just depending on how hot it is, because honestly, it's the most uncomfortable thing thing to sit down for like 2.5 hours in my boiling hot lounge. And yeah, I need the fan on, but then again, it sounds like I'm on a plane or something with the fan on in the background. Which is exactly the same problem I had yesterday because there was a massive thunderstorm. Honestly, every single time I tried to record, I felt like I was out at sea, like out on a boat. It was horrible to listen to. So that's why there was no video yesterday, in case you're wondering. But yeah, that's my plan, to have a family house with maybe loads and loads of different items. I love kids' items. I'm really hoping for a bouncy castle in the future. And I would also love to see a swing. I was really expecting to get one with the romantic stuff pack, but we actually got the climbing frame again. So we have 2 climbing frames now. If you have the romantic stuff pack, you have the base game climbing frame, which is white, and you have the romantic stuff pack climbing frame, which is also white, and it has a tiny little bit of ivy around it. So there we go. But anyway, yeah, I would love to see more items. I'm hoping for a sand pit as well, and just other items that kids can play with. Even just park items, just the general stuff, the ones that you sit on, it goes back. Oh my gosh, what do you call it? What do you even call it? It's a seesaw. It's a seesaw, yes. I used to go on that all the time when I was younger. And my granddad used to sit on the other side, and I would just like stay up in the air, and he would have the least amount of fun. He would just be there like for about 3 hours, just hopping up and down, trying to make this seesaw work. And I was very demanding when I was younger. But no, he was absolutely fantastic. We used to go to the park all the time, and it was amazing. But anyway, so I was actually finishing off the landscaping at this point. Now, I wanted to do this part because I wasn't too happy with the outside just yet. So that's what I spent some time doing, just rearranging the trees and stuff, because sometimes rearranging trees, something that simple, can actually make a lot of difference in a house. So that's what I did. Now for the upstairs, I did not want an overhang, and I usually include overhangs, but I didn't, and the reason for that was because I wanted to maximise space up here. The family want a house with like 3 or 4 bedrooms, so I wanted to make that happen. There is actually a potential to convert one of the rooms into another bedroom if you want that to happen. So we do actually end up with 3 bedrooms, but the downstairs room can actually be rearranged a little bit. If you want to do that, you can, of course, but I just felt like with having maybe the kids sharing a room at first, that would be so cute. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Anyway, I was having a lot of fun putting in archways. I actually really love archways in houses, and that is just because I love rooms to join onto each other. I actually used to have a house, not myself, my parents used to have a house, but I used to live in when I was growing up. And it was a really interesting layout because all the rooms all led to each other. And then there was just like one room in the middle, which would then be the hallway, which would lead up. It's really difficult to explain, but basically we had a dining room that would lead onto the lounge, which would lead onto the kitchen, then it would lead onto the conservatory. So I loved that. Like, that was the best layout ever because it just gave so much natural light and stuff. I loved it. It was really easy. Anyway, so I decided that without having storage cabinets, because we actually get storage cabinets with the Sims Full Get Together, which I think is so sad. Like, honestly, it's so sad for everyone that doesn't have the Sims Full Get Together. Why can't we have storage cabinets for everybody? So what I did instead was I put in my own. I actually made up a little storage cabinet, so it feels like you will have a storage cabinet even if you don't. And you will have like the shoes there, the books. Oh joy. You'll have everything in the house. The house probably should have a little bit neater than how it looks at the moment, but yeah, you get the full picture. You get all the items, and I was also putting in some animals because I think that having an animal or animals in a house with children is just an absolutely fantastic thing growing up. From first-hand experience, like when I was growing up, I was never allowed an animal, and my parents were really strict about it, and I begged my parents. I absolutely begged them to get a dog, and they never let me. They ended up getting us 2 cats, and I was absolutely over the moon. So we got 2 kittens, and it was just incredible. Like, it was the best experience ever to just have like that family complete and just have animals. I don't know how to even explain it, but it was just amazing. So yeah, I mean, I get it for kids. It's important, and a lot of kids of course want animals and things, so I thought, well, we can't have pets and stuff, but we can have little reptiles in the house. So maybe it's like the before stage, because I know that a lot of parents do like to maybe buy the kids like goldfish, see if they'll look after them, and then get them maybe a cat or a dog after that. So just a sort of test to see how that would go. In fact, the test for me was actually a hamster. But this hamster used to escape like every single week from the cage. It was like the most destructive hamster you would ever be able to meet. It was like a rabid hamster. That's the best way I can describe it. It was called Squeak, and it used to escape from the cage, and we would find it like 2 weeks later when it had chewed all the way through the dishwasher cables, and it was absolutely puzzling. Like, this hamster, bless its heart, I think it spent like maybe 3/4 of its life just in the pantry, just eating crisps and stuff like that. But it was a great experience, and when we got cats, it was just incredible. But anyway, going on to the kitchen and the dining room. So we have the kitchen being quite a basic room. That was because I was really keeping to the budget. So the budget is pretty much gone at this point. I actually figured out that I included something which was massively disturbing the budget. I can't remember what it was. I actually think it was something really simple. It was like a television, or maybe it was like some sort of shower. But anyway, something that I bought took up about 8,000 simoleons just in one hit. So I thought, wow, I need to remove that, because it wasn't even a necessity. But then again, okay, if it is a shower, then that's probably a necessity. But I don't think it was. It was something really simple. I have no idea. We'll find out soon. But yeah, so the kitchen was pretty basic. I was trying to fill it up with these features though. A lot of the base game items, like the kitchen counters, are quite plain, and I was having a hard time just trying to find ways that I could actually make it decorative in here and try and make it stand out. So I really couldn't do that. I tried everything, but I just couldn't get it to work. Then the dining room was a simple room with just a bookcase inside, just because I didn't really want to put anything else in there. So there you go. Now on to the upstairs. We only have like 21,000 simoleons to start off with, so I really had to be careful. And I still wanted to use these rugs. The rugs are really cute. I actually used to have a rug like this in my house. I used to have like a little flower rug, and it reminded me of that. So I wanted them absolutely everywhere, like in the corridors and stuff, because I would imagine that the parents absolutely loved the children. Like, they wanted to be able to make this house a very family home. So by putting kid stuff throughout the house, it would just be a really family house. So that's what I would imagine, because growing up, that's similar to what my house was like. But then again, I also used to go to other houses that would look like they didn't even have children living there, and then you go up into the bedrooms and that's where the stuff would be kept. So it really just depends. I almost messed up here because I put something in which isn't base game or isn't the stuff pack that we get. So I feel like it's kid stuff pack, but I have no idea. The butterflies, yeah, I almost put that in. So finishing off upstairs, there really wasn't a lot here. I did want to put in some gym stuff because I know that one of the guys has a athletic career. So I thought, okay, well, a gym machine like that would be a good idea. This room was actually really nice though. I finished it off by putting in a little baby carriage here because I thought, okay, well, if they're adopting a child, maybe it's a baby. Maybe they're going for like a younger child this time. That would be so cute. And I just thought, yeah, in there would be perfect. And I just love the idea of adoption, and I love the idea of the fact that this house is a happy home to try and make the kids' life happier and have a happy experience growing up. I love it so much. I also added a trophy case here because I thought that having awards out would just say proud family to me. I was also back round to the exterior of the house, so I actually forgot to decorate the balcony. And if you missed me put in the wooden flooring on the front, because I actually left it plain to begin with, and then I remembered that I had to actually go around and add flooring to the balconies and the front entrance. That's what I did. Lighting was really important, so pretty much everything that I had left, that's what I did. Just base game lights, just around the build, just made it look good for me. But anyway, that is the end of the build, so I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see all future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.